if I can, you know, in the course of my short life, see what type of changes can be made, then I know what's possible. I know what can be done if you have people who are committed to doing it. I want to be a part of that. Well, I grew up here. I went to Brennan, I went to Creighton, I went to AC Florence, C.A. Johnson. After my father died when I was 13 years old, I went through some really difficult moments. I mean, I dropped out of high school, I got involved in drugs and just some really destructive behavior. And through that time period, I think with my family, with community members, just talking to me and, you know, speaking positive words into my life and into my future, I really started to come into my own. I started to really rediscover who I am and the type of man that I wanted to be in life. And after that, having the opportunity to attend college, Benedict College, through a scholarship from the United Negro College Fund, was a big push up for me. The most important thing that happened to me at Benedict was the opportunity to be a part of President Obama's campaign for the presidency. That was absolutely incredible. And just doing stuff like, you know, talking to my, you know, fellow students about the importance of this campaign, really listening to, you know, the way he framed the national issues, the way he framed it as being tied to what was happening locally in our communities and how it was so important for young folks to get involved in shaping this nation's future. That really resonated with me because, again, you're talking about someone who felt like they had no type of power, couldn't influence or affect anything, to be empowered by this man that I could actually make a difference and that my voice, you know, me stepping up, it was necessary, it was needed, and that I could make a difference. And that's, you know, when I was a student leader, that's one of the messages that I always wanted to give to my students was that, you know, you are important. That it's not just about you coming to college to get a job or to get a degree, but, you know, that degree is going to empower you to make a difference in this world. And to hear this guy who was running for president say that I had something, you know, that I had something to offer to that was incredible.
Well, tonight, the cynics who believe that what began in the snows of Iowa was just an illusion were told a different story by the good people of South Carolina.
So let me tell you, the first time I ever flown in a plane, I flew to Boston. And I flew to Boston for a program that I got accepted to at the Kennedy School of Government. It's called the Gov Scholars Program. And so I flew to Boston. It was my first time. And so one of the last nights that I was there, I'm walking down the streets of Cambridge, and I get this phone call. And she said, "Hello, is this Joshua?" And I said, "Yeah, this is Joshua." And she said, "Well, this is Meredith from Senator Obama's advance team." And I'm like, "Oh, hello." And she's like, "Well, can I get your social security number? Because you're going to get to meet the senator, and he's going to tell your life story in the speech that he's going to give in South Carolina." And so the next day after I flown from Boston, we went up to Greenville.
Now, the other day, we heard from a young man named Joshua Stroman, who's from right here in South Carolina. And Joshua, like me, never really knew his father. And when he was very young, his mom and stepfather both died from cancer. He was then taken in by family members who were involved with gangs and drugs. He experimented with that lifestyle for a bit, and his low point came when he went to jail at the age of 18. But here's the thing. Joshua decided his story was going to have a different ending. He began to find comfort in his faith. And when he left jail, he moved in with an aunt who expected him to behave well and study hard. And thanks to God's tender mercies, he did. And he's now at Benedict College. And listen to this, he will be president of the student council there next year.
So to see this guy who's running for president, the highest office in our land, be so accessible, be so down to earth, it makes me, you know, it feels like you can be you can be genuine. You can be a leader, but you can be a leader who is one who's among the people. And that's an important lesson. And I think that's a lesson that we've forgotten about in our politics, that our politicians, that we work for the people, that we have to be accessible to the people. I enjoy shaking hands. I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy listening to people, you know, talk to me about the things that they're concerned about or the things that they're excited about. And that's what democracy in America is about. If my life story could encourage and inspire so many people to do amazing things, to take risks, to believe in themselves, I want to be able to do that in my hometown, where I know that there are a lot of challenges, where a lot of folks have given up, especially our young people, and where, quite frankly, there are a lot of forgotten parts of our cities. We need a new spirit to come and saturate this place, one that says, yeah, we may be at this place. We may be dealing with some tough issues as a city. We may have some forgotten areas in our city that need to be addressed. But you know what? You have leaders who've been in those places. You have leaders who have dealt with those challenges. And that's the type of leadership that we have to support. Folks who have been there, who's going to go to the halls of power and bring those experiences with them so that they can be catalysts to change those situations. I knew that if I came back to Columbia, that's something that I could do, working with a diverse group of people who are serious about where the city needs to go, who are willing to make personal sacrifices, as I had to make, in order to make sure that we're creating a stronger, a safer, and a more prosperous Columbia where children grow up, believe, and achieve their potential. That's what this is all about. That's what this campaign is about. That's what the country is calling for. That's what the city of Columbia needs.
Joshua's story is a story we want to tell all across the country. It's a story of going through hard times, but overcoming. Joshua can't do it alone, and I can't do it alone, even as president. It's going to depend on the efforts of all of us. All of us are going to have to chip in. All of us are going to have to make an effort. All of us are going to have to be involved and engaged in this process. I look forward to all of you helping to make Joshua's all across this country. Thank you and God bless you.
I grew up in this community. This is my community. A lot of the folks who I grew up with and who I went to high school with and who I went to middle school with, they're still in these communities. And some of them are doing well, but a lot of them are not doing well. And I want to stand up for them. I want to stand up for this community. I want to stand up for the city. This is my city. I grew up in this city. This city means a lot to me. I've seen where it's come from. I understand where it is now, and I know what it's going to take to get us to the next level. And I want to be a part of that.
Yes, we can.